Well, welcome back to our Project Plus playlist. We're on Domain 2, Project Lifecycle Phases, which is 30% of the test. And we're on 2.4, given a scenario, perform activities during the project execution phase. So we're grabbing this right from CompTIA's exam objectives. I made this big, so I have to really scroll up here. And once again, we are on domain 2 right here, 30%. And 2.4, that's really far down here because we're making progress. Happy day. 2.4, here we are. So this looks like a decent one. Okay, let's go. So, general stuff, project execution activities. We need to execute tasks according to the plan that's been made. Adherence to it helps to ensure that things are met, everyone understands. It helps to manage things, the scope, the time, the budget. And we should be monitoring it as well. We need to manage vendors. So with vendors, there's going to be certain rules of engagement. Who should contact them? What is a proper reason to contact them? What's not? Understanding roles and responsibilities. Monitoring performance. So regularly assessing vendors and making sure that they're doing what's been agreed upon. And approved deliverables. So evaluating vendor deliverables to confirm that they actually align with what's being asked and that they align and are accepted. So, and then you conduct project meeting updates. So there should be regular communication during the execution phase. And this can be in different ways. It can be status updates that are daily, on a rare occasion, more often than that. But sometimes it's weekly or even monthly, depending on what you're working on. So we need to implement organizational change management. So there's just such a great impact on organizations that can do this well. So there's the training, actual training people on how to change and manage change, help to assure adoption of what changes are needed. If you're not changing, you're slowly becoming obsolete. Sometimes not so slowly. And then reinforcing the adoption over time of things that need to be done. Communicating the status, the progress of the change. Documenting it so that people realize that it did happen, even maybe after you've changed jobs. Making new knowledge bases, because there needs to be some guidance over the system and the new processes that are there. Talking about the new processes, they need to be documented. And new procedures need to outline clearly the understanding of the application across the organization. Tracking and reporting. So there should be team touch points, regular meetings where people discuss, address challenges, and if needs to, we might need to realign a little bit. Risk reporting, identifying potential risks and evaluate their impact on the project. You might need to mitigate some of those. Others of them you might try and ignore and see if they just go away. Those are all valid options sometimes. External status reporting. So stakeholder updates need to occur regularly so that they don't become a risk. If you're not updating stakeholders, they might get worried. And sometimes you need to tailor your communication to specific individuals, because if you don't keep them happy, they're going to start to become a risk to the project. So overall progress reporting. Overall progress reporting is the metrics that are the key performance metrics that you monitor, and hopefully they're the right ones, and so you're adhering to them. It might be budget, there might be other things that you're watching, and hopefully you have a dashboard that people can look at and see where those are at. There's also the value management, what value it's providing. Gap analysis. So comparing the actual project performance against the activities that you've planned and see if there's any discrepancies there, right? And then sometimes you need ad hoc reporting. So reports that are just needed to address specific concerns or inquiries about project issues. So this is the flexibility that comes into play, because sometimes things just were unexpected. So ad hoc reporting is something that's often an unknown. So we have this, we need to identify a little bit more about it. So stepping back to the general in this section again, the project execution activities. We need to update the project budget. Sometimes something changes and maybe we save a little money, or maybe we have to spend more. We need to be continuously monitoring and updating it as needs be, and sometimes we need to use a change control process to change the budget for the project. Update the project timeline. Once again, things happen and we don't plan for all of them, and even if we've planned for them, sometimes our plans are not perfect. So we might need to maintain our schedule some and change the milestone activity. So updating the project timeline. And with any change, and even with no change at all, conflict happens. So we need to understand that that's going to happen and plan for it. This could be personality clashes, it could be resource constraints, it could be someone leaves and the new person, it doesn't quite jive yet with the project. It could be that a lot of things. So sometimes we need to dig into the root cause a little bit to understand how to smooth it out. This is trying to emphasize the common goals and de-emphasize the differences, which is hard because sometimes someone's just so far off base with everyone else. And then we need to assert one viewpoint at the potential, trying to avoid just one viewpoint at the expense of everyone else's. Although sometimes you need to. Sometimes you just need to come to and say, this is the way it's going to be. That's hard if you're a project manager, not the manager. So you usually have to get other people involved. But sometimes you do have to force a certain viewpoint over others. Sometimes you compromise, find a middle ground where everyone gives up a little bit, no one's happy. That's the compromise. There's some great books on this. Getting to Yes is an awesome one. Collaboration. Sometimes you work together to try and find a win-win solutions. These do exist. They're the best ones to get to. It's hard, but that is definitely the route to go whenever possible. Collaborative. Sometimes you just avoid. You postpone, you delay the conflict, and just hope that it doesn't become too big of a problem. And then you need to coordinate the phase gate review. So basically formal checkpoints to review the project's progress against what's been decided earlier, so the predefined criteria. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this, and we'll see you in the next video. Have a good day.